They say that all good things take time, but this is not one of those stories. This is the story of how world leaders from across the globe came together in just 21 days to create the United Nations. It's a story of intense negotiations, secret meetings, and a shared desire for peace. Let's go back to 1945 and see how it all went down. The year is 1945 and the world is a mess. After 6 years of war, everyone is exhausted and just wants it to be over. But as the fighting in Europe and Asia draws to a close, world leaders know that a new threat looms. This time it's not a threat of war, but a threat of peace, because no one can agree on how to keep the peace. The Americans want a strong UN with the power to keep the peace. The Soviets want a weak UN. They can't agree on anything, and with each side digging into their own corners, it looks like the peace talks will end without a resolution. That is until a new plan emerges. On April, the United States, the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union, and France come together and agree on a new proposal. A proposal to create a temporary UN with limited powers. It's not what they wanted, but it's enough to get the ball rolling. And so on April 1945, the United Nations was born. But behind the scenes, the real work was just beginning. Now, with the UN Charter signed, the member nations have to figure out how to make this new organization work, and there are a lot of differences to overcome. The Soviet Union wants to expand the UN Security Council to include more of their allies. The United States wants to keep it as is. Once again, it seems like the two sides are at an impasse, but then a compromise is reached. The Security Council will remain as is for now, but the General Assembly will be expanded to include more countries. But even as the delegates work out the details of the new UN, there is still one big question that remains: who will lead this new organization? In the end, it is decided that the first Secretary General of the UN will be Trygve Lie of Norway, and so in just 21 days, against all odds, the United Nations was created. But the story of the UN is not just about the creation of an organization. It's about the creation of a new world order. It's a world order based on cooperation, not conflict. A world order based on diplomacy, not war. Today, the UN is made up of 193 member states, all working together to create a better world, and it all started with one simple idea, the idea that we are stronger together than we are apart. That's all for today. See you next time.